Driving by the speed of light. Oh wait, maybe we shouldn't sing stuff. I don't know. We're not getting paid yet, so I don't know when we might get flagged for our stuff. Make a supersonic man out of you. All right. How you doing? Yeah.
Good. I discovered that on Disney Plus, the animated Mighty Ducks show's on there.
No, really?
And it's terrible.
I mean, yeah, it's an early 90s.
It didn't age.
Yeah.
Because I was going back and forth.
Is it offensive or is it just not good?
No, it just doesn't. It's fine. It's just...
Is it offensive to your brain? Like, it's not like offensive.
In another universe.
Yeah.
Hockey exists, but it's played by giant talking ducks with hair.
Because they're mighty.
And they're mighty. Like, the asteroids are pucks floating around the planet. It's just so...
Wow.
It's bad. But then I jumped and watched Gargoyles, and Gargoyles is still pretty cool. I mean, the animation isn't great, but it's cool. You know, it's still fun and over the top, and weirdly a lot of dialogue problems.
Interesting.
Like...
Oh, it's probably just poor writing.
Cross the T's and dot the I's. This is dot the I's and cross the T's. Like, they swap... lines that don't. You're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Like that. Like
it doesn't have it doesn't follow it doesn't go like A B C. It goes like A C B.
Yeah. Well, they'll swap like okay, everybody, put on your seatbelts and sit down in your chair. You're like, Godzilla had a stroke reading that. You know what I mean? Like, wait, what? Like.
All right, well, let's get into this.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Just unison. Hope everybody's doing well.
I'm Tom Da Wheelos, and that's Jackie Jespo.
All right, I think you tried too hard this time.
Oh, I couldn't find anything, so I went on BobaFettFanClub.com, and someone did a thread on how to make your Star Wars name.
Oh, well, that sounds like they tried too hard.
And it's a combination of that information.
Oh, is that why you're asking, like, my mom's maiden name and stuff like that? Oh, so what was mine again?
Jache.
C-H-E?
Yeah, Jachi?
Wait, so the H-E, where's the H-E come from?
The
my first two letters of my last name.
Yeah. Right, but Jachi? Jachi?
Jace?
Jachi?
Joshi?
Jashi Jespo.
Jace?
And I'm Tomda Wheelos. I do like Wheelos.
Tomda isn't that bad as well.
I like, that's a good character for an RPG. Wheelos the Dragon Hunter. Maybe. No.
Wheelos the Weak.
Wheelos the Wicked.
Ooh. All right, so we're not talking about that. Today, we are finishing up our Star Wars month. This is the May the 4th. May, blah. With the final of the Skywalker saga of the sequel trilogy, The Rise of Skywalker, or as I like to call it, Raiders of the Lost Sith.
That's an interesting connection there. Okay.
I mean, it was just like, I was like, literally when they were like finding the dagger, like, oh, we got to go to another place. I'm like, the fuck is this, Indiana Jones now?
Or the Goonies moment.
Yeah.
Lining it up with the...
Exactly. I was like, all right, Raiders of the Lost Sith here. Okay. So it's one of the lowest rated Star Wars movies on IMDb out of 6.6. Right above the lowest rated being The Phantom Menace at a 6.5.
Yes, and this was released December 20th, 2019.
Yep.
God, they popped these movies out quick.
I mean, once Empire came out, I feel like Return was only like a couple years away from that. There was a big gap between A New Hope and Empire.
Well, yeah, that makes sense because that's the beginning of the franchise, and then getting the backing from another studio, get the money, and the sign-off, and Lucasfilms
was kind of like on the rise as well.
Yeah, totally.
But then like the prequels, I mean, it was 99, 2001, 2003.
Yeah, okay. I think maybe I was just too young. It didn't really click. But whatever.
I mean, I feel like a 2-year break is like, I mean, you have like a year of pre-production or like, 6 months pre-production, 8 months of of production, 4 or
And
5
then
months of post production. You know.
Yeah.
Anywho, surprisingly, where it was in the box office,
Oh my god, I love this so much. For
it
so many
wasn't
reasons.
number 1. It was actually number 3 domestic and worldwide.
Number 7
worldwide, because number 1 this year was Avengers Endgame, which makes sense.
Out of like the top 20 build movies that came out this year, like 12 or 13 were Disney. This was a good year for Disney.
Dude, Disney. I have very hard,
I remember
rash feelings towards Disney.
I remember this too, being like, wow, Disney really. I counted.
Disney kind of owns our entertainment.
Disney, I counted for the first 20, the ones that were Disney, with the movie, they made $12 billion for the movies alone.
Jesus.
That's not counting like any kind of merchandise or any.
That's
toys
just off
or
of the film itself.
just the film itself.
Ticket sales.
Ticket sales. It made $12 billion that year. I'm like, and that's okay. Well, that was the nail in the coffin of entertainment being controlled by Disney right there.
I thought there wasn't supposed to be a monopoly in this country.
But shoot,
monopoly is actually against the law.
Because even then, number 1, Endgame. Number 2, The Lion King live action remake.
Which I'm surprised it actually did more than Rise of Skywalker, Lion King. Was that no? That wasn't the first live action remake. Anyway,
no. Number 3, Frozen 2. 4, Far From Home.
Oh, you're looking at the world one.
Yeah. 5, Captain Marvel. So the top 5 were all Disney-owned properties. I was like, wow. I thought that was very interesting.
Out of 8 of the top 10 are Disney as well. Because the only 2 that aren't Disney is Joker and Jumanji: The Next Level.
Right, because Jumanji's a Universal, I think.
Oh, and also that's the sequel to the sequel, The Next Level. When I said Ready to Rumble, The Next Level. You know,
okay. Cool.
So really quick, I looking at the domestic box office at the top 100 movies, I have seen 40 of them. Which I'm like, I keep doing this because I'm like, how the hell have I seen so many movies?
I'm very surprised you keep beating me, but we're very close. I had 34
out of the top 100.
Out of 200. So,
but
I'm just from now on. I think I'm just gonna use worldwide.
I like looking at the domestic. I don't know. I just like looking at the domestic because, like, in the worldwide, there's just a lot of stuff that we haven't really seen.
Totally. Well, but
or heard of.
I only disagree with me because I watch more international horror movies than you do.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, but like that's kind of it. But I like worldwide just because it takes us out of our little American island bubble.
Yeah.
That we're in, and then like even though number 12, Nisa, I was like, I'm gonna look at that now because what the hell is that?
Well, it's like also like, I think comparing is not a bad idea because in the domestic, Star Wars is number 3 in the United States.
Oh,
but in the worldwide, it's number 7.
Okay. So yeah, so have them both to like compare and whatever. Cool.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, now that we're done having that conversation about how we're going to run our podcast, guys, let's move forward.
It's all part of the process.
Tommy synopsis. Oh boy.
Evil space wizard miraculously survived being thrown into a reactor core only to return decades later with one unexplained large fleet of planet-destroying spaceships.
Yeah. I mean, you really focused in on Palpatine there, but yeah.
The first sentence of the text.
I know, dude. I have...
The dead speak. Like, I had to lean into that.
That opening scroll was so poorly written. Like, way to fucking just give it away.
It was terrible. That was, like, one of the biggest, like, there... No sense
you
of
could have said,
secrecy.
like, a mysterious, familiar voice is heard across the galaxy. And then it's revealed at the very beginning with Kylo Ren coming down and, holy shit, it's the Emperor. You know, not Emperor Palpatine is back.
Well, that was what was crazy too. It was like all in all caps. Like Emperor Palpatine was like we're gonna forget who that is.
Yeah. So, yeah, we already went to that.
Evil Space Wizard. That's
Evil Space Wizard. So this one, and we'll get into this a little bit on with the writing and directing, because this one directed by J.J. Abrams.
He's back.
He's back. He also wrote this with Chris Terrio. The other two build writers are Derek Connolly and Colin Trevorrow, but it's really just J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio for this script from what we saw. And Chris Terrio, you would recognize from he's actually writer for my tongue just got super tied. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, Justice League, both Justice League, Zack Snyder and the bad one, and Argo, which I thought was interesting.
Like the theatrical release one, but AKA the bad one.
Yeah.
And then you had Derek Connolly
and Colin Trevorrow,
who both were, I guess, a big thing that they were Jurassic World.
Yeah, so they kind of done the the reboot of Jurassic Park together in a big way. So the first one was screenplay was done by Derek Connolly and Trevorrow, but also directed by Trevorrow.
Oh, Jurassic World was?
Jurassic World was directed by Colin Trevorrow, yeah.
Oh, interesting. I really don't mind those movies. I think
they're fun.
They're fun, yeah.
And Derek Connolly and Trevorrow both wrote Fallen Kingdom together. They're actually built as the writers, not screenplay. They are the writers. Like, they did everything for it. And then Derek Connolly, you would also recognize a screenplay for Kong Skull Island and Detective Pikachu.
And just a fun thing in post-production right now, Metal Gear Solid. They're making a Metal Gear Solid movie.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
That's going to be real interesting.
Welcome to a new toxic fandom, Metal Gear Solid people.
Dude, can you imagine the backlash that's going to have? That's going to be fun.
And hopefully they do a good job with it, though.
But that's the thing. It's like, with these guys...
It's such a rich story to it.
But that's what I'm saying. With these guys, they do such, like this, and then Jurassic World, they do such blockbuster, big, over-the-top kind of productions.
Yeah.
Metal Gear is such a weird storyline. You want to stick with that.
It makes me wonder which storyline they're going
which snake
with.
they're going to use.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
You know, like there's like, yeah, that storyline's all over the place.
But yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that because that's something we're going to watch.
So I mean, so Derek Connolly and Colin Trevorrow, I'll get into this more. They're billed as writers on this still, and I think that's because maybe there's like little ideas. I know I have read the majority of the script that was leaked online from Derek Connolly and Colin Trevorrow, and there's not much that I'm seeing at similar. In my opinion, they are 100% two completely different scripts.
Duel of Fates, is that what it's
Duel
called?
of Fates, yeah.
Okay.
But
in your opinion, was that script better? Or is it just different?
It has things that are better with it, but I don't...
And that's kind of hard to tell, too. Those scripts that you
I also still haven't fully finished it. I know what the ending is, but I definitely have a lot of qualms with the Trevorrow-Connolly script. It has a really weird love story with Poe and Rey that I feel is forced. I don't see how that was built in the last two previous episodes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Leia, which is cool, but that would have been impossible to do.
Yeah, with her passing away and
yeah. Unless they did like Billy Lord, like doing Carrie Fisher.
I was kind of surprised how well they did do that.
What do you mean? Oh, and like in Rise?
Yeah.
Apparently there was all that stuff was stock footage more or less from what they filmed in The Last Jedi. And I'm like, where?
And then
in what where, when?
Yeah, like with the dialogue and all that. I'm like, wow, these are...
He was like, were these supposed to be flashbacks of some sort?
It was
like,
very interesting.
The fuck? Like, when did Rey sit there with, like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It confused the fuck out of me.
But, I mean, it looked good.
It looked really good, yeah. No, I feel like they did a really good job with Leia. And also, like, I feel like in the last couple episodes, we kind of haven't really, like, done Leia full justice.
On her, like, arc and everything on the last episode, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, we kind of, like...
She came up.
Yeah, she came up. But, like, I just feel like... we didn't really talk about her arc, I guess is what I'm saying. You know, because, like, we really want to look at Leia. Like... She's really the one that's like gone through the most out of everybody here, you know? She was raised as a princess inside of the rebellion, has been like a war general, like has been part of like the resistance and the rebellion
since she was a teenager.
Yeah. You know, like she's a really big heart and soul of all of this.
Yeah.
You know, and like we were talking about like how important it was for Luke and Leia to have that moment, but Like there was definitely just a lot more with Leia that I feel like we could have like touched base on.
Yeah, because even like bringing that up too, that was like talking more about like Luke's arc in relation to Leia.
Yep. But it's so much of Leia's arc relies within Luke and everything that's happening as well.
Yeah.
And then also just really just while we're on the topic, last week we were talking about Benicio being the Codemaster. He's not the Codemaster. His character's name is DJ. He's just a dude that could do that.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, because Codemaster was like Justin Theroux was cast as Codemaster, but he's just on screen for like 10 seconds.
I know, but it was just like I was aware of that, but it was just kind of like the plot. This is now the Codemaster that we're gonna be using. I just didn't really care. Yeah. Like,
but anyway, so where was I before the Carrie Fisher stuff? Colin Trevorrow, Derek Connolly.
Duel of Fates.
Duel of Fates. Oh yeah. There was a lot of Leia. Well, I'll talk about that more later. Let's really quick talk about the cast, and then let's talk about what happened to this movie in transition from The Last Jedi. So the newest it has all the, people we talked about: Fisher, Hamill, Driver, Ridley, Boyega, Daniels, Isaac, blah blah blah. The new people that have relatively small roles, but like they're just like there for it. Richard E. Grant, an old British dude. I mean, as opposed to like what you might recognize it from, I'm just kind of like. He
kind of reminded me of Jeffrey Rush
a little bit. He has got a little bit of a Jeffrey Rush look to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I looked through his IMDb and I couldn't really pinpoint anything quickly that stood out.
He was one of those people I recognized, but looking at it, I was like, Penelope. He was in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Series of Unfortunate Events, the 2019 one.
I didn't watch.
Which you should.
I started watching it, but I just didn't finish
Neil
it.
Patrick Harris. It's great.
It was like, yeah. Naomi Ackie is another British actress I didn't really recognize.
Doctor Who.
She's in an episode of Doctor Who. Yeah. She's also in Master of None.
What is that again?
That's the Aziz Ansari show that was on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She has a story arc on that. With it. It's with him, I think.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen all of it. And then Carrie Russell. Her face really isn't shown, but it's Carrie Russell behind that mask.
That's a cool mask.
And I'm like, all right, JJ, bringing back Felicity.
Carrie, yeah, her character just kind of looked like the missing third member of Daft Punk.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is hilarious. That is so true.
It was like, oh, that's a cool helmet, but it looks like Daft Punk. But
I like how Poe kept trying to he's like make a move, and she's like, no, but clearly she's like likes him,
Yeah.
But but yeah. So those are the three new characters that I don't know. They don't really.
And then two.
I guess.
And then two OGs came back. Billy D. Williams.
Oh yeah.
And
who?
Ian Mc.
Oh, that's
Ian
right.
McDear. How do you say it?
I don't know how to say his last name.
Diarmid.
Yeah, Diarmid.
McDiarmid.
Palpatine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy D. And also, Lando is written in the Duel of Fate script.
Oh, he is.
He has a short cameo.
Oh,
it's
okay.
like nothing big.
I thought it's Billy D. I just think of Scrubs.
Why?
Because he's in an episode of Scrubs, and he plays Billy D. Williams. But Tucker? Yeah, Tucker is that his name? Yeah, Tucker keeps calling him Lando. Turk. Yeah, Turk. That's his name. Because Turkleton. Yeah, because then the other doctor calls him Turkleton. So Turk just always is calling him Lando the entire episode, and it starts pissing him off. Billy D.
Oh,
keeps correcting him. Yeah. Like, stop calling me Lando.
I remember now. Yeah.
I love you, Lando. I always think of him in that.
All right. So there was drama going into this one. So Rian Johnson was originally supposed to kind of write the script for this, or at least write a treatment for Colin Trevorrow. But after the response from The Last Jedi, they didn't want Rian Johnson involved anymore.
Boo.
Because I think Rian Johnson also was kind of like in talks of directing this one as well, but it just never stuff happened. So I have this is in the beginning of in an intro from Wiki, kind of like talks a little bit about that, and I'm just gonna read this little burb, the Burbs with Tom Hanks. I'm gonna read about that. Never mind. Sorry.
I'm gonna add that to the list.
I think it is on the list.
That'd be weird if it wasn't.
Yeah. All right. Following initial reports that The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson would write the script for Episode 9, in August 2015, Colin Trevorrow was hired to direct and write a script with his frequent collaborator, Derek Connolly. Both ultimately retained story credit with Abrams and Chris Terrio. In September 2017, Trevorrow left the project following creative differences with producer Kathleen Kennedy. And Abrams, having directed The Force Awakens, returned as director. John Williams composed for the next time.
The last time.
Last time, sorry. Principal photography started in 2018. I wanted to get this. Oh, yeah. This movie had an estimated budget of $275 million. It is one of the most expensive movies ever made.
With a throwback of $1 billion. I just only bring that up because I think it's so funny because the first one was everyone was so excited, and then you can actually see, granted it's still $1 billion, but you can see it going down.
Oh yeah, it's like people are like, oh,
yeah, you can see it kind of like flatline.
But yeah, so it's interesting with that, and so going into farther, like this is kind of like an extension of that. This is like actually in the pre-production section of the Wikipedia, and it talks about this a lot more about the writing process that happened. Oh, yeah, there's also apparently this guy named Jack Thorne was supposed to rewrite a script, and that just kind of got brushed under the rug. I found an article talking about Jack Thorne's idea and script, and it's apparently very weird. It's on Screen Rant. But in September 2017, stated that Trevorrow had left the project following creative differences with working. Sources said his working relationship with Kathleen Kennedy became unmanageable after he failed to deliver what she saw as a satisfactory script, despite writing several drafts. The same month, Johnson was rumored as the top choice to replace Trevorrow as director, though he stated it was never in the plan for me to direct Episode 9. And J.J. Abrams, the director of The Force Awakens, was announced to be returning as director for Episode 9. The story team met with George Lucas before writing the new script to discuss the nature of the Force. I find that sentence very amusing.
Why?
I don't just like a story team. It's like, yo, Lucas, we need to talk about the Force. Like, we fucked up, man. Give us your knowledge, please.
That is interesting.
You know, it's like a story team met with George Lucas before writing the new script to discuss the nature of the Force. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's like sitting there with Tolkien being like,
tell me about the elves.
Tell me about the life energy that binds the elves.
Yeah,
you know. But I can see Tolkien being like, oh, okay, here we go.
Well, I'm pretty sure Lucas is like, oh yes, the Force. Well, when you think about the Force and how it binds us all together.
I like the voice that you give Lucas. That's not what he sounds like.
I know, not at all. Actually, I can't recall what his voice sounds like at all right now.
It's kind of high pitched.
Is it?
It's kind of like a soft squirrely. Could I get a Diet Coke?
Well, let's talk about the Force here. How's I turn into Owen Wilson?
You will bring me a Diet Coke?
Anyway, okay. Abrams co-wrote the script with Chris Terrio, though Trevor retained story credits. The story was rewritten to some extent before filming was completed. So even like as they were filming, they were kind of working on the script, which
that's a great thing. That's a terrible idea.
That happens with a lot of movies, though.
No, but that usually makes it messy.
So it was produced by Abrams' company, Bad Robot Productions, Kathleen Kennedy, and Michelle Rejwan. According to Terrio, the film's script had to include certain narrative beats provided by Kennedy and Rejwan, including the redemption of the character Kylo Ren. So it didn't matter the story that they wanted to tell. These producers were like, these beats must be in the story.
This needs to be checked off, basically.
Which I think is possibly one of the reasons why maybe the script kind of went haywire or off kilter, because I don't think this is a very good script.
It's not. I have a. I'll save it. Excuse me. About right down the wrong tube. I mean, I have an opinion about that, but I'm gonna say that for my final beat.
But as I've been reading the Trevorrow and Connolly script, Duel of the Fates, I will say the beginning of it is 100 times better. The opening scrawl is actually like alluding. It's literally like it's playing off of like where we just left everybody in The Last Jedi and where we're going next.
Oh, yeah. See, you're talking Duel of Fates. Oh, yeah, because this had that whole thing that Phantom Menace had. This weird, like, you know, Phantom Menace was talking about like trade routes and like this weird kind of information It was just yeah. This is probably goes like hands down as the worst text scrawl.
Yeah, because it's just like it just feeds you too much important information. A lot, because I mean, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people don't care to read it. A lot of people don't care to read the opening scroll, and sometimes it is. I mean, I'm a slow reader, and it moves pretty fast.
Stella.
What?
No. How I Met Your Mother reference.
Oh.
She refuses to read it, and then Jason Segel's like, "You have to read it."
I want to read it. It's just hard for me. Like I try to catch it or read it as fast as I can, but like I know that there are people that just don't really they don't care to read it. You know?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was just wanted to make a How I Met Your Mother reference.
It's so like it's like they literally jam pack all of this information of like setting up what this movie is about in the opening scroll, as opposed to alluding to like where things have come from and where we're starting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think like even like with my synopsis that goes into like this kind of ties hand in hand. The reason I did the whole about evil space wizard Palpatine coming back, because the way they set it up, who gives a fuck now what's happening with everyone else? You told us the big threat, big secret. Now this entire movie is kind of what they were worried about happening with Luke and bringing him in.
Yeah,
they did
the MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin. He became the MacGuffin. You're like, okay, well, all right, I'm just waiting for them to beat.
No, he didn't. He wasn't a MacGuffin. He was the opposite of a MacGuffin, because a MacGuffin would be something that is not important and then found later.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay.
It's like the important part of the storyline, but it's not important because it's more about what's happening. Yeah. He became the complete opposite of MacGuffin. He became the most important thing of the story.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, well, we know now. Like again, it took out any kind of urgency.
Yeah,
because you're like, okay, we know now that it's going to end with fighting Palpatine somehow, and it's a good guy tale, so beating him, cool.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
Now let's just get to that moment.
It's like, oh gee, I wonder how they're going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
because we know he's not going to lose. So it's
yeah.
Yeah. You want to go into reviews?
Yeah. Oh, and I do like since we're going into reviews, I want to point out that the review I did last week, where they were basically like, which one was it? I can't remember. But that one basically about how if you skip a Last Jedi,
oh yeah,
it doesn't matter. This movie made that 100% accurate.
Yeah, I know.
Like that middle movie doesn't.
Other than like the importance of seeing Luke Skywalker pass away.
That's it. That is the only thing. And then with all that scrolling text thing, you could have fucking put that in there at that point.
Yeah.
And then Luke disappeared into the Force. All right, cool.
Well, it kind of also makes me wonder if maybe that review was written after somebody had already seen The Last Jedi or the Rise of Skywalker as well.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I'd have to look at the date on that. And I bring that up because Scott Melslow from GQ.com. Last Jedi ended with several franchise-altering twists, the possibility that there might be a middle ground between light and dark sides of the Force, or the promise of a generation of young Jedis whose names weren't Kenobi or Skywalker. Forget all that. Rise of Skywalker has no interest in it. Abrams has turned in a Star Wars movie that is only surprisingly on how unsurprising it is.
Damn, that is so
yeah, I was like that. Yeah, like it really did. Last Jedi opened up this world, and then this next movie went, nah, nope, didn't happen.
That's not the world we want.
Yeah, and it was like such a weird backpedal. Whatever.
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker. Oh, sorry. Scott Middleton at Forbes. Rise of Skywalker is a bad movie and a miserable finale that serves no purpose other than to reassure adult fans of the original Star Wars that they are still the chosen ones of the pop culture galaxy.
That's kind of rough.
I agree with it though. But also this is just a really interesting because this, if you want to read a really fun, rough, this is like a really good, rough one. And then I don't know what website it was, but I just thought that was funny. It's like a user review.
Oh, really?
I just wanted to read Yeet69.
All right, Yeet69. I like that name.
Yeet69. Kids in their 30s hating everything because they're dead inside from everything they hate. It's a cycle. Alcohol helps. But this movie is better for real kids that still love life inside. It was like, what? It just made me laugh.
I don't know if I feel attacked or bonded with.
I don't know. It was so funny. It's just like there was all of these like credited reviewers from all these different websites and like magazines, and then there was Yeet69. I was like, what? So I read it and I was like, I gotta write that one down. That's funny.
Damn.
Oh God. Yeah, that just made me laugh really, really hard.
Oh man. Well, I guess are we ready for my review?
Yeah.
Which is about as long as the last two have been as well. So, all right. Finding an ending to a story is one of the toughest tasks in writing, especially finding an ending to a 9-movie saga wrapping up the story arcs of a multitude of characters and putting a button on one complete arc of continuity. The Rise of Skywalker achieves that goal sloppily. The movie tells its own complete story, but truly feels like it tries to undo a lot of the themes and character development we got in the previous movie. The theme in this movie is more simple in comparison. Family is who you choose. The dialogue spends a good amount of time making sure we understand that these people are now close friends. They have been through a lot together in this time of war, so it makes sense, but the reluctance from the characters at times and forced narrative of family in the dialogue feels like lazy writing and pandering to the audience. What is successful in the movie is the acting and emotional moments with characters. It does lean into being aware that this is the last movie and we feel like we are saying goodbye to a longtime friend. I feel like the ending of the movie itself was appropriate for what it was, wrapping us full circle back on Tatooine, Rey sand sliding down into the Skywalker farm and burying the lightsabers of her mentors in a memory of their memories. Rey claiming the Skywalker name, affirming the theme of family you choose, and that she no longer has to wait for her family to return. Her character arc is completed. Finally ending on the two suns sunset of the desert planet we all learned to love and hate. As a Star Wars movie, it's okay. It's not the ending I wanted as a fan, but that's okay. I don't own these characters, and I believe J.J. Abrams and his team tried to give us the best story they could. The writing felt lazy, and the movie forced its new narrative of Palpatine on us, but overall, Star Wars is good versus evil. By tying the Skywalker bloodline together with the Palpatine bloodline is a very accurate way to look at Star Wars. But the balance of the Force, good and evil, exists in these stories and the lore of these names. So, in the end, the prophecy is fulfilled that Skywalker would bring balance to the Force through Ben's sacrifice reviving Rey. Sounded so excited about that.
Yeah.
I really think that, they brought an ending to it. It wasn't very well executed.
No, because they created a problem we didn't need.
Exactly. But it ended it, It's still Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
as my roommate said last night as I was watching it and, grumpily, just every, 10 minutes, what? He was like, hey, just remember, you're watching Star Wars, and that's cool. And I was like, why you gotta be optimistic?
Yeah, I don't know.
But, at the end of the day, yeah. It's done. This is what we have.
Yeah. I just really the whole concept of it's a problem we never.
Yeah.
Like with the first 3, it's like you're thrown into this world where the Empire's evil. We got to stop them. Cool. Yeah. Then the prequel 3 is how did this happen leading up to it? It's kind of we didn't need this.
Yeah.
At all. And then okay, fine, we're jumping to the first. So still, there's remnants of the Empire. They're gonna come back, but then you throw in this Palpatine twist, and it's like. I get it, it's a movie, you're trying to make a plot and a conflict, but why? Why did you lean?
Why couldn't it have just maybe actually ended with a balance of the Force between a fight of Rey and Ben, both understanding that the light side and the dark side need to end up together, and maybe neither of them need to die, but Kylo comes back to Ren, and
yes, on Ben, something,
yeah. But like I said, it's not the ending I wanted as a fan. But that's okay. I don't own these characters. And I truly do believe that JJ and his team did try the best they could to give us something. That's really all I can say. It's I feel like there's a lot of undersights with certain things. Oh God, what? I don't know, the whole recurring theme of family, friends stick together. I feel like that's just super generic. Last Jedi was what does it mean to be a hero? What is sacrifice? It's it was a great, and also that was another thing is coming from freshly watching The Last Jedi, this awesome script to this, I was like, oh man, like this just isn't good writing.
Well, yeah, even like that whole like Billy D. Lando.
Oh, his random appearance.
Or then him being like, we beat them in the last movies that I was in when I was younger.
Yeah, right.
Everybody, if you didn't remember, I was Lando when I was younger too, with these guys, and we stood together like you guys are doing, and that's how we beat them.
Yeah,
together. I'm like, yeah, we get it. Stop forcing this dialogue about togetherness. And we get it. Yep, we're friends, and with only friends can you defeat adversity. Like, I get it. Like, shut up, Lando.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, it was just too. It was just too much cramming it down your throat.
Yeah,
it's like got it.
And it was very quickly clear that they were kind of like ignoring the events, more or less ignoring the events of Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, where it's Kylo's, he's in search of this Sith Wayfinder. It's like, what? Like, there's no right. It's like he just wants to find it, because the Emperor's voice was heard, and now he needs to find the Emperor. It's like, why didn't we have like a build up to that? Why was that just all of a sudden at the beginning? That was
such a weird way to start that movie.
Yeah.
That was really weird.
It was literally forcing, like, this is what this story is about. Don't worry about what we've seen before.
But also, I'm like, I wonder, I was curious about this while watching it. Why did we get a new Sith, a hidden Sith homeworld? Why didn't we do Korriban? Is it like a rights thing? Like, no Korriban, no, like...
I don't know.
Yeah, I know you don't actually know.
Why would it be a rights thing?
I don't, because a lot of that stuff's not canon anymore. Like, so are they just...
Are you talking about like with like the Legends stuff? Like,
yeah,
but they were still referencing a lot of that stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. I'm curious. I'm like, was it a decision that we just want to do a new planet and not reference old stuff, or?
I don't.
I mean, it looked cool, but also I was like, why do you
it's
automatically?
So desolate.
Why do you? I was gonna say, why do you automatically assume that Sith want to live in these horrid, like?
Yeah,
there are. I'm sure Sith are out there that
what are like super gothic and beautiful, you know?
Or like, I want to live in sunny wine country. Yeah, I'm evil, but don't want to live on lightning water world. Like,
yeah,
or like, Vader living on the planet that crippled him. That sounds like
that was actually a really cool thing in the Duel of Fate script. Little Ren goes to a Vader's castle on Mustafar.
That's cool, like his obelisk thing.
Yeah, he's in search of like a Sith Wayfinder, and the Sith Wayfinder is in Duel of Fates as well.
Yeah,
but like he finds something that only Vader is supposed to be able to like use, and he like opens it, and like it's a message from Palpatine. But then like since it registers that it's not Vader, so then it force lightning attacks Ren and it disfigures him.
That's way cooler.
Yeah.
I mean, as cheeky it was fun to see the Palpatine again. Just he's got a great voice.
He does have a good voice.
Just yes, your anger.
Well, so you want to start going through character arcs here?
Sure. I'm so uninterested in this.
Can you scroll that down a little bit so we can look at the top characters?
The top characters.
Yeah. All right. So let's just start off with Finn and Poe, because I feel like their character arc is kind of like, I mean, it's important. I mean, it's them becoming the new leaders of the
new generals.
The new generals and whatnot. But like, God, I don't even know really how to talk about this because it's just so womp. I get
because you didn't really feel satisfied by any of it.
The whole thing is like them finding the unity inside of themselves with the rest of the team to persevere forward to fight the First Order. I mean, the giant.
Wait, what was mine?
They're the Final Order. God damn it! Execute.
I went right. Where is it? Oh yeah, execute Final First Order 66.
66A.
66A. Order 67. When he started saying that, this will be the final. Oh, I was like, really, dude? Okay, move on.
Oh, I will say one thing about this movie though, is that there are like little moments that do kind of like do quick little like character finishes, like character arcs, or like that do bring emotion in me. Like C-3PO when he's like getting his memory wiped and he turns around and he looks at all of them and they're like, what do you do? And he's like,
I'm C-3PO, human cyborg relations.
No, when he's like, just looking at my friends
Oh.
one last time.
I see.
It
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was.
oh.
You knew they were gonna fucking
I was hoping that they would just
leave it there.
have it like he's done, but then like way later on, like at the end of the movie, it's like he's still back type thing, like revive him then.
Yeah.
Have like R2 be like,
It made me think of that whole Data thing from Star Trek Nemesis.
I don't really remember that.
They kill him, but he has like a brother.
He has yeah. But I mean, it brought in humor, which is like what they were trying to do with C-3PO. C-3PO is still one of my favorite characters throughout the entire Star Wars like saga.
Well, it just made me laugh when thinking about it too, because that whole they must have made a conscious decision of this. That whole he can't translate Sith writings thing.
Oh yeah,
because the whole like he was made by Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
So 8-year-old Anakin put this programming in. It was this weird gap that happened for a minute there that they had to like go in and plug in like, oh, there's a leak right here. Let's go ahead and just put this little thing in there to make that connection. And it's just making me laugh because that's kind of what Mandalorian's having to do with.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of has to go in there and find these loose little strings and tie them together and be like, okay.
So I guess we have the Resistance that are they're on Coruscant, aren't they? That's the planet they're on, actually. I'm pretty sure.
Huh?
With like in the forest, like I think that is Coruscant.
Coruscant?
Yeah.
Coruscant's a giant city.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. I don't know what I'm saying.
That's where the Jedi Order was.
Yeah. Anywho, okay, so I'm wrong. I forget where they're at. Thank you for correcting
I was
me.
really I'm like, there's no trees on Coruscant that we've ever seen.
I guess their whole. Oh, that's right. How did they find out about the Sith Wayfinder? Oh no, they need to
those books.
No, yeah, that's right. So I'm like,
wait, what are those books? Are those the sacred texts?
Yeah, did you not see her take those at the end of The Last Jedi?
I think it was the same moment as the lightsaber break. Oh yeah, the lightsaber's fixed.
Oh yeah, that's not explained.
That's the thing.
Also, they never explained where they found the lightsaber for you.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god, that was like even to the last minute. I'm like, give me something. It fell in Cloud City. How did you find it? But okay. No, I missed. Okay, yeah. So she has the sacred text, and that's how she finds out about the Wayfinder.
Also,
so she can read
doesn't
them?
really explain why. Luke's notes. She can read Luke's notes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because Luke was looking for the Sith Wayfinder for whatever fucking reason.
That makes sense because he's trying to rebuild. Like it's knowledge. You're trying to rebuild the order. So you're trying because all the Jedi archives are all like eradicated.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like why? No, he's trying to find Exegol. Like why would he be trying to find Exegol? What would be the purpose for a Jedi to try to find Exegol?
Well, because Exegol. Well, I mean, he was following that one guy because he was a Jedi hunter.
Yeah, because he was trying to find...
Yeah.
No, but like that's all through Luke's search for Exegol. Yeah. Why would Luke be trying to find Exegol? That's not explained.
I mean, it could be the same reason because he knows a place of force, whether it's evil or... we're trying to fill it in with personal lore.
So...
But you're right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's kind of like the beginning of this is... Oh, that's right. They said I'm remembering now. God, it's taken me a minute just to kind of remember how the beginning of this movie started. So it sets up Kylo finding the first Sith Wayfinder and by slaughtering all of those people on that planet.
That was pretty brutal.
It was very brutal. And then he finds the Wayfinder and he goes and he finds the Emperor. So it's setting up, okay, Ren's arc and story now is with the Emperor, with Palpatine. And then it cuts to...
Who he plans on killing.
Yeah. Well, because
he's really leaning into these Sith teachings.
Yeah.
Pretty hard.
Yeah. And then so it cuts to Poe and Finn and Chewie on the Falcon, and they're getting... That's right. They're getting some information about the spy that's in the First Order.
Mm-hmm.
And so then their whole like escaping of that, but it's showing that now they are now veterans. You know, they know they're a cohesive unit together that know how to like they'll get into a sticky situation, but they can get out. You know, they're very much like in unison with each other. With Finn on the gun now, Chewie and Poe at that flying the ship, pilots. That's the word I'm looking for.
What came out first, Guardians of the Galaxy or this? Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out before this.
Funny. Because the light speed jumping thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay.
Also, I don't know. I mean, Avengers came out before this, too. Endgame. Endgame came out the summer before.
Well, I
this.
just meant that specific scene.
Yeah. But also, I don't know. The very end of this movie is very much like Endgame. Like, oh, and here's everybody to save the day.
Oh yeah. They were definitely taking notes for big ensemble.
Or maybe it could just be like randomly, just the same ideas happening at the same time. You know.
Yeah.
Like inspiration.
Well, if you take all the like names out and you put the plot side by side.
Yeah.
Evil madman, got to beat him.
Are you saying that everything's in like comic and like action movies is good versus evil? The Fifth Element got it down.
Well, because they leaned into it so hard.
I know.
They're like, cool, it's a big ball of evil.
It's just evil.
It's just pure evil that uses a voice changing box to talk to people. Sure, got it. That's rad.
Oh fuck,
I'm digging it.
All right. Yeah. So it establishes, and then the moment first time you see Rey, she's meditating with the rocks around her, and it's establishing she's been practicing her Jedi training and her Force training with Leia. And then it quickly goes into there's still the connection with her and Ren.
Which I was confused about.
Why?
Because I thought Snoke made that.
No, because Palpatine made that, because Palpatine was making Snoke.
Right. Okay, cool.
Even Palpatine at the very beginning, when you see Ren walking through Exegol, it goes from Snoke's voice to Vader's voice. He's like, "I've been the voice inside your head."
Yeah, I went to Snoke, and then turned into Snoke's voice, and then it. Yeah.
I mean, it's showing like Palpatine has been orchestrating this since the beginning of
it's like
when I don't know.
Phantom Menace. That is kind of weird to think about.
Like,
this guy's been pulling the strings for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
For like 40 years.
But longer than that, man. Like 60. 3 generations.
Yeah. She's weird. Well, because I think this one came out like 43 years after A New Hope. I think that's like the...
Yeah, that makes sense. And you got to think there was like 20 years.
Yeah, and then 20 years prior. Yeah.
And then who knows how long he had been working on that before...
Well, because he was Darth Sidious. I mean...
Chancellor?
No, he was the apprentice to Darth Plagueis. Was that it? The tragedy of Darth Plagueis.
I thought that was a whole illusion that he was Darth Plagueis, but no, he was telling a story about him being
the apprentice. Yeah, like it was, I mean, he never straight up said that, but that was like alluded to that he was the apprentice. It was Plagueis, right?
Yeah, Plagueis or Plagueis or something like that. Yeah,
the tragedy of Darth Plagueis or Pegasus or
Pegasus,
whatever the fuck his name was.
Plagiarism.
Darth plagiarism. I will steal the words that you have written.
So yeah, it sets up the story of what's going to happen, and then quickly you get at the First Order, or not the First Order, the Resistance meeting. That it's like it's been confirmed. It was Emperor Palpatine's voice that everybody heard. I thought he was dead. Blah, and then it's like, okay, well, that's what sets off this whole journey for Rey trying to find Ren and Exegol to stop Emperor Palpatine, essentially. And then Ren, he's just going to be off on his own doing shit, he's searching. Is he searching for Rey? Yeah, he's searching with Rey with the Knights of Ren. Finally, they introduced the Knights of Ren, and they're just fucking pointless.
Yeah, they're really pointless.
Yeah.
They're like utterly, completely pointless. Yeah. It was an attempt to do kind of like an Inquisitor thing, but not done well.
Yep.
Basically. They looked goofy.
So,
they're like bad guys from Mad Max.
So yeah, through that we get the fake Chewbacca death, which is kind of bullshit.
She shoots forks.
What was that planet that they were on?
Lightning. I don't remember anymore.
It was another desert planet.
Yeah. On the outer rim or whatever. I do just like, though, that in Star Wars universe, everyone's really, really willing to forgive shit really easily.
Like, what do you mean?
So, well, like in this case, so she blows up the prison or transport, and they think she killed Chewie, and they're like, "Oh shit! Oh no!" Find out later he's not dead. And they're, "Oh yay!" It's like, yeah, there's still probably prisoners on that prison transport you blew up. Like, great, you didn't kill Chewie, but
yeah, you killed
somebody.
Yeah.
Like, you blew up. I mean, hopefully it was just a bunch of First Order troopers, but even then, like, they're brainwashed children that were taken.
You know, you can really tell a difference in this script. Like, Kylo Ren, he's like, I feel like Rian Johnson's Kylo Ren was more grounded.
He's more interesting.
It's more interesting. It was more, like I said, spoken absolutions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was kind of like this in this one.
But even in this one, he didn't really speak that much.
No.
He had just a couple. Like really, if I ever watch this again, I want to count how many lines of dialogue he has because he really doesn't have that much. Especially because
it's more moments.
Yeah, because he dons his mask again, and it makes him.
I hated that they brought back the mask.
It made it, they went back to him being like in the beginning of the first one, the mysterious Sith general in the background, quietly observing kind of thing, and it's like, okay, well that was backpedaling because he was getting interesting, and now he's boring and quiet and weird again. And the mask thing. If they had done what you said, and he got scarred by the lightning trap, cool.
Oh, like what was in Duel of Fates?
Yeah, cool. All right.
Well,
cool.
but then in Duel of Fates, he actually gets Mandalorian metal grafted to his face, and he starts wearing a mask again.
Yeah, but that makes sense. I'm like, cool. Yeah, there's a reason for it, I guess.
So okay. So on this desert planet, they find the dagger of the Sith dagger that C-3PO can read, but he can't translate.
It's against
Raiders of the Lost Sith. This is where it came from. And they have to go to another planet to then get C-3PO to translate it. Then like
they had to jailbreak C-3PO.
Yeah.
Basically.
Ren
and his eyes go red because he's speaking Sith.
Yeah. Ren is just like hunting. That was a really cool moment when they get onto Ren's Star Destroyer while he's down on the planet, Kajimi.
Yeah, and I did like the throwback. I mean,
and their lightsaber battle, like...
that was cool. And then also I just liked the callback to his quarters being all white, like Darth Vader's was.
Yeah.
I just thought that was kind of fun aesthetically.
Also, I do got to give like Ren like some credit. He used that whole like Force connection they had to figure out where Rey was. That was cool. Multiple times.
I really think that's one of the coolest things about this movie, just as a Force power.
Yeah,
I really like that. Able to, it's not a telephone call, it's an actual physical connection through the Force. I think is really interesting. And then Vader's helmet falling down and him having the realization of, oh shit, she's in my room.
Yeah,
fuck. That's why I feel her so close, that was cool.
So then they finally find where Exegol is. I guess like kind of fast forwarding. Oh, and where the Sith Wayfinder is. So Rey has to go to the moon of Endor where the Death Star fell on.
That was cool to see too.
Yeah.
And that was the second Death Star.
Yeah, the second one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Kind of bringing this all full circle. I mean, so yeah, for Poe and for Finn, and we also really quick just want to bring up the lack of Rose in this movie is very disheartening.
It just goes back into what we were saying. They ignored the second movie.
Yeah.
They just utterly and completely.
You can tell that that they added like an importance of her character as like a very, very side character on the planet. It's like she has to stay and help Leia, and she has like
she's an important cog in the wheel of the Resistance, but she doesn't have enough screen time.
She's no longer a main character for us to care about.
Yeah, which was a bummer.
Yeah, but not in Duel of Fates. She's huge in that.
Yeah.
So where was I going? Oh yeah, Finn and Poe. They take Rey to the planet, and that's right, and she just decides to go off on her own. This is when really like the most important parts of this movie really start to happen. The rest of this movie,
kind of a slow start.
Yeah, the rest of this movie, it's setting up to lead into this final act, and it just takes a long
time to get
this
there.
This actually isn't even that short of a movie as well. This is a 2-hour, 20-minute movie. Yeah. Like it's only 10 minutes shorter than The Last Jedi. We forgot to talk about the weird snake thing on the desert planet.
Oh, when they introduced force healing.
That's what you were talking about.
The serpent.
Like the serpent that they use the puppetry for.
It's like 23 feet long or some shit like that.
So, I mean, that's pretty... Actually, that thing looked pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and I mean, but it was just
it's to introduce that Rey can do the force healing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, you got to do something like that so it's just not like out of the blue with Ren,
Totally, yeah, but it's like, it's just funny, like, with this new generation of Force users that haven't really had any kind of direction. They're discovering a lot of new Force powers. Right? A lot of new Force powers are being discovered through them.
I was also kind of thinking about that actually with the lightsaber battles that Ren and Rey and everybody was having. I was like, you know what? There's a reason why their lightsaber skills really aren't on point with like what Obi-Wan or Anakin's were.
Yeah, I said that. They're not trained.
Yeah.
I
think it fully clicked with me,
The whole hack and slash for Kylo makes sense though, also because his lightsaber is like a great sword.
Yeah.
It's not a saber. It's
well, they also just really quick before we continue on with the Death Star stuff, we find out General Hux was the First Order spy for the Resistance because he just wants to see Kylo Ren lose.
And that kind of goes into that caddy brother thing I was kind of talking about,
like,
but it doesn't make sense.
No, yeah, it didn't really. The General Hux, yeah.
They did him dirty.
They did him dirty. They did him hard and dirty. Because he gets killed really fucking quickly too.
Which I liked though, because
it makes that was like one of the more
general
like, sensible
being like,
things.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Really? They overpowered you, and so,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
They call up contact Supreme Leader. We found our spy.
At that point, it's like General Hux should have just gone with them.
Exactly. Which there's a character in Rebels that is kind of like that and does that and has a redemption story that's really cool. Anywho, I like Rebels a lot. You know, I've said this a lot.
In the last few weeks, especially.
I've actually been watching the last season of Rebels while I edit.
Oh yeah,
and I cried at the last episode again. All right, so yeah, this comes into the most important part of really the movie, in my opinion, and that's Rey and Kylo's lightsaber battle on like the remnants of the Death Star with the water washing over them and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because of how Leia reaches out to try to get Ben, not to connect to Ben one last time, which is enough of a distraction for Rey to essentially kill Kylo. She kills Kylo. I'm going to put it that way.
In the same way Qui-Gon Jinn died. Just a good old belly stab.
Mm-hmm. Boom. And as he's dying and she heals him, that's when you see Kylo kind of disappear and Ben kind of begin to reawaken. The light side's starting to come back to him because his mother, the act of Rey, I think he's realizing he's in love with Rey. And then the memory of Han and kind of like recreating the conversation that happened.
It was very much supposed to be like light and day kind of. Day and night, light and day,
and just like, you know, giving him like the second chance of doing it right.
Yeah, and then he casts off his lightsaber. You don't have to cast off the lightsaber; just change the crystal. There you go. I might still need that lightsaber.
Yeah, that's not a bad point. And then Rey deciding to just run off to the fucking planet that Luke was on, and then Force Ghost Luke comes out, taking back everything he said in The Last Jedi, reversing that. You know,
like he's a different character. He's a different Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, 100% different Luke Skywalker. Leaning into like she must now be a Jedi to face Kylo and kill the Emperor, which, you know, in a weird way kind of makes sense. It's like, hey, yeah, become the last Jedi, but hey, you're the last one.
Yeah, let's stop with you.
Let's stop with you. But obviously, Emperor Palpatine's back. You need to stop.
We need to kill him.
And then the kind of forced idea of Leia's lightsaber.
I just realized bringing back Palpatine completely destroys the Darth Vader sacrifice thing.
I know.
I don't know why that didn't register until just this moment.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Cool.
That's like bringing Tony Stark back. No.
What would be the point?
Yeah. Just because you want him back in it.
Yeah.
And it's like that ruins that entire... Then Endgame ending would just be like, he's watch like 3 more movies. He comes back. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Getting Leia's lightsaber, and then then Rey gets the Luke's X-wing and is off to Exegol. And
I was like, is that X-wing still gonna work? It's been sitting under the ocean for like. But that was also a callback to his training.
Yeah,
and
you know, as he was doing it, you know, he was doing a force clean as well. You know, wax on, wax on, force wax off type situation. So we get to the end of the movie. Oh no, she leaves a trail for the Resistance to then get to Exegol.
It's like this to get to this planet is just basically full of booby traps. Raiders of the Last Ark.
So
natural
and
booby
also,
traps.
how did the fucking First Order already get there and have like half that Starfleet? Like, it's like
the 6 million.
Yeah, it's like where there's all these there's TIE fighters. Like, oh god,
that I know that we talk about all the time about at a certain point they just hand you something and you take it.
Yeah. You kind of have to do it with this.
Yeah, but it's like this time around it's really aggravating.
Yeah, because
how is Palpatine alive?
Yeah.
Who are all these weird little, like in the subtitle it says Sith disciples? Who are they?
Yeah.
Where did they all come from? Are they just living on this planet? Is there like a city nearby? And then also, how in the living hell? It's like seriously, it's like 3,000 to 4,000 Star Destroyers just come out of the ground
that all have planet-destroying weapons.
like what? No, I can't just take that.
It's like, where
First
did these all get built? How did these all get built?
The first 2 Death Stars took however long.
Yeah.
Star Killer base, like that one you can kind of take because it's been so many years that you're like, sure, okay, maybe it took 20 years to make, whatever, cool, moving on. This shit has just been chilling here. Also, if this has been the case, why didn't you start off with this? This is a much better plan.
Yeah, right.
4,000 that can destroy a planet that you could send every direction at any given moment.
Yeah.
You could literally send, there's so many, you could
have wiped out the galaxy easily with all this.
Yeah. And not also, like, why are you putting out like Palpatine? Why are you making them aware of your plan? Like,
also, why is this all about destroying the galaxy right now and not so much more about bringing balance within the Force?
It's like the original Death Star was to show. It was a scare tactic, a show of I have the bigger stick.
Yeah.
Follow in line. But now it's just kind of like it's just going to be like a cleanse. Where he just wants to destroy everything.
Exterminate.
Yeah, it's like even then it's like this Emperor doesn't feel like the same. And I mean, he died and came back, so maybe I don't know.
It's kind of whatever. So, but and we're also we get revealed earlier on that Rey is a Palpatine. That's right.
Yeah, who the hell got jiggy with the Emperor?
Yeah, right. Or maybe
cloned.
No, I'm saying no. I don't think I don't think the person would have maybe willingly gotten jiggy with him. You know.
There's a lot of Sith ladies out there.
Yeah, that's true. But then, like, why are the and also, like, is it? He's the granddaughter. So was it Palpatine's son?
It was Palpatine's son. They say there's a moment of dialogue where it was Palpatine's son.
Or was it Palpatine's son and daughter, and they got it on? Whoa, incest! No, I'm joking. Sorry.
That was weird. That was
my brain went to a weird place.
That was really weird. Yeah, so like
the Sith like to keep it in the family, guys.
Yeah, and this whole thing, it's Palpatine. I'm like, it would have made more sense for it to be Obi-Wan's kid, but that would have been hypocritical. But that's already like in the lore.
I honestly think, like how I said in my review, I think bringing it into the Palpatine bloodline is a little like, even like how like Kylo describes it is, it's like they are the dyad of the Force, them together, because it's the granddaughter of Palpatine and the grandson of Anakin. Yeah. And it was Anakin and Palpatine as like they were kind of like the duo of the first trilogy, I guess. And it's all like Darth Sidious saw so much in Vader and wanted, like there was, like there is, like I said in my review, there is lore and it's stuff with those two names just as much as there is with Skywalker and Kenobi, yes.
Yeah.
But within like the storyline of the Sith, I don't know. You see, it makes sense. I mean, I personally, like I said, I've said this. I personally would have rather her been a Kenobi because of that whole like brothers fighting, light side, dark side.
Well, but even then, if it was a Kenobi, it's like there is a love interest for him, so you can make that make more sense. This whole kind of vague. At some point, Palpatine had a kid, and then he had a kid, and then now he wants to get her, but wants to like kill her. It's just kind of like you made this.
He wanted to raise her as his own Sith child.
Yeah, but then now she's like going towards the light. He wants to kill her. It's just like.
But he's saying like it's the Emperor saying he wants to kill her, but truly, it turns into. He wants Kylo and Rey to fight. Whoever wins is going to then join the dark side for him, or he's just going to kill them.
Well, then there's that whole kill me and then I will embody you.
And then I will live through you thousands of generations.
Like all the Sith live through me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
When she's like kind of knocked out and all the other Jedi, like Anakin and Mace Windu.
That's a cool scene.
When they're all talking to her, I just heard Samuel L. Jackson, kill this motherfucker. Motherfucker, cut off my hands. Oh, no, I guess that was Anakin.
Yeah. I definitely like Ben when he comes back as Ben and he fights the Knights of Ren and he takes them out with ease, which was pretty cool actually. Once he gets the lightsaber, that was a really cool lightsaber pass off. Like the connection that they have is kind of a cool idea. It just kind of seems more forced in this one.
Yeah, it's like as a Force power on its own, it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, but it just wasn't really executed. And I mean, like that scene's cool, but
when he finally shows up, and then the Emperor like absorbs the life power out of them for a
starts
little.
to like rejuvenate.
Yeah, it's like what? And then Ben just gets fucking blown off into the next fucking galaxy. It looks like.
Yeah.
And then Rey has to stand up against her grandfather. What?
I'm going to the Last Crusade. He falls off a thing, kind of like the blonde lady in Last Crusade.
I haven't seen Last Crusade since I was a kid.
Just like falls into this like foggy pit.
Oh.
Does she
come back out of it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. She doesn't make it through that one.
Rey finally. It is nice to see like the way that Rey kills Darth Sidious isn't by striking him down with her sword or her power. It is reflecting the Sith power back at him. So it is truly like ending like the Sith line.
Well, it's cool too. It's the way she kills him, the way he got disfigured.
Yeah.
The bouncing off the lightning thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So that was kind of, but again, I think they did this on purpose. It was a callback to stuff.
But to finally see him just eradicated, exterminate. Sorry, I don't know why I keep calling back to Doctor Who.
I don't know, man. If you can throw him down a goddamn reactor core.
Maybe he's like Cell from Dragon Ball Z, and just like as long as one little cell
bit,
is
But it's like even with this universe, they could even bring him back because he is the
no.
Sith. They could.
I don't want it. I don't like it. And then I do like the whole idea of like finally she like kind of like passes away, and then it's Ben that comes up to revive her. Like he gives her back the light. Like he knows he does the force healing thing for her, sacrifices himself, because it does kind of like go into like, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know,
and
him understanding is he's also like, there's no way I can go back. It's like he's done such horrendous things. He doesn't want to go back to the Resistance and see that judgment and whatnot. It's like, I have done what I can. The Emperor is gone. Rey, you deserve to live. It is your life to pass on whatever you want with this goddamn Jedi New World Force users. It's on you now.
And they ruined it with the kiss, though.
Yeah, the kiss was kind of... That came out of left field. It's like, okay.
That was probably one of those producer, I have a romance. It's like, no, that would have been really great if it was just like, I see light in you and I want you to come back because I think that you can be saved, not because I have the hots for you or whatever the fuck they were trying to do.
They were just mutual. I don't know. They're just mutually in love. Yeah. But then, during all of this happening, the Resistance is fighting all of the fucking like Final Order, and it is really, it's like an end game moment where like literally it's like even like the general or like commander on one of the Star Destroyers is like, how did they get an army this big? And they're like, it's not an army. They're just civilians.
It's just people.
Those are just people. And it's like,
do you know how aggravating it would be to be the Emperor?
What?
Like you have like literally all of the resources at your disposal, and this ragtag group just always comes up and is blowing up all your shit. Just how like aggravating that would be. Oh, we didn't even talk about that. Fucking Emperor turns into an EMP.
Oh yeah,
I have the power, and then like only affects the the Resistance, but doesn't affect his Star Destroyer.
I don't know. It's like he's just that accurate, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just like, okay.
All right. Well, everyone goes back to the planet that they were on, and it's all happy, and they all, it's actually it's well executed. I do feel the emotion of them and enjoy and rejoice and whatnot. There is Chewie who this is before I forgot when Chewie cries out after hearing about Leia passing.
Yeah, that was sad.
That's an emotional moment. Fuck. R2 and C-3PO have their fun banter. It was so good. And then, we just go to the end and Rey choosing the Skywalker name and like looking off into the distance of the sand and seeing Leia and Luke's Force ghosts.
I always like to jump in the
first. It's like mother and father, aunt and uncle. Wait, they're brother and sister, mother and father. Wait, how do I call them this?
I always like to jump into the like point of view of the person looking at the person doing that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The old woman, that's who she is. It's like Rey just for like a solid 30 seconds just goes dead quiet and stares off into the distance, and the woman's like, are you okay?
Rey's got her new gold lightsaber.
That's cool.
That looks like it's made out of
It's made out of her staff. Yeah.
Mhm.
I like the on button.
It
It's like
switches.
it's the ring
it's a
around
ring.
it. It's cool.
Yeah.
And the hilt's black. It's a good looking lightsaber. It's cool.
And then,
Better than Kylo Ren's.
that's and then that's the end of the Skywalker saga. Not the end of Star Wars. The end of the Skywalker saga.
Leave it. The fuck.
They
alone.
have. There's also been that weird talk of retconning the sequel trilogy and trying again, which I hope. I just like
what?
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
It's just like let's just let it be what it was. This is
Yeah.
what we got. It's not the worst thing.
No, because even I don't want you to recast Qui-Gon Jinn. I liked Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn. I liked.
No.
What?
Just redoing the sequel trilogy, not all of it.
Oh, okay. I thought you said prequel trilogy.
No, the sequel trilogy.
Oh,
Retconning
okay.
the sequel trilogy
Yeah.
and redoing that.
Oh.
But I think that just doesn't no.
Just
don't
leave it
do
alone.
it. Yeah,
just
leave it
do
alone.
new Star Wars.
Keep
stuff.
going with the new Star Wars. John Favreau and Dave Filoni have saved us. All right? I keep saying that, but I truly mean that. Like, especially Dave Filoni. Like, Dave Filoni, he's going to create an amazing new Star Wars universe for us.
I just remembered all the Snoke clones and the test
Oh, yeah.
and shit.
Um,
I mean, I think, okay, so final note, it really is. It's like, it totally wraps up this trilogy, but I'm just going to go back to what I said. It created a problem that we really didn't need, and I think that's one of the reasons that I personally, especially with this last one, fell so flat on it.
yeah.
Is that it just, like, this all three of these movies didn't need to be made, and it wouldn't have changed everything. Especially, you had your ending with Palpatine, and to bring him back, I think was just a really bad move.
Yeah. I mean, there should have been so much more focus on the storyline of like what it means of Kylo and Rey together, and where Luke was talking about of like erasing the idea of the Jedi Order and the Sith Order and having it be the balance of like the force of light and good together.
Yeah.
Which kind of Duel of Fates was leaning into a little bit.
Well, just the title alone.
Yeah. As far as I've read into it, it's like Rey seems to be going more is like close to dark side on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, and yeah, it does end with Rey killing Ben or killing Kylo.
Yeah.
And then realizing her name is actually Rey Solana. I don't know what Solana, like you actually learn her family name, but it's still nothing. It's nobody important. So they actually keep that true to The Last Jedi.
Okay. Yeah. It's like you can skip Last Jedi entirely. Don't, because it's better. But this one, I'm like, you can skip this one because.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to like continue, if you want to have a finish to the Skywalker saga, watch it.
Oh yeah, don't be a psycho and not finish it.
Yeah,
finish it, but
it's just how much they spent, how much effort and time they went into trying to not recognize what was built in The Last Jedi.
Yeah,
was really its downfall.
And this movie could have been an hour long.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, this could have been like an hour long, and then
it was filled with a lot of unnecessary stuff.
Yeah.
And
I think that my biggest problem is most of the characters just aren't very interesting. Like their arcs.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Stuff.
It's like literally the only arc is just like discovering like, oh, we have to work together because we're family.
Shit. There's really not that much. Like, just thinking about it, there's actually there's very, very little actual dialogue.
Well, I guess there is a bit of an arc for Finn. I forgot about this. Finn and Naomi Aki's character Jannah, because he discovers an entire stormtrooper platoon that turned against their orders, dropped their weapons, and yeah, there is we weren't really talking much about it, but there is a good amount of like arc and like movement like with the Resistance. It just seems so overshadowed because of like what's happening with Palpatine and Kylo and Rey.
Yeah.
Like the importance of Finn finding like people like him, you know, that dropped their guns and were traitors to the First Order.
Yeah.
You know, because of like literally feeling of the Force inside of them. And even like they have little like moments of like Finn having a Force connection with Rey.
Yeah, like he has become, since he is now open to it, he is now sensitive to it.
Yeah.
And he has this kind of connection.
Like in a way, like if they were to continue this, I wouldn't be surprised if Rey starts to like teach Finn bits of the Force.
Yeah, he kind of like Solo, like Han, kind of the way Han has a connection to the Force with Leia. Like he can sense if she's like in danger and or nearby or whatever. I can't remember. I mean, I know this whole thing.
Because like Finn, also like with Finn and Janna staying behind to like blow up the Star Destroyer the way that they did, like that's kind of like it is like you do get like a really good full arc from the first movie to the final movie with Finn, with him going from running away to did you read this in your review, or did I read this in a review?
What?
Like it's like he goes from traitor to like a runaway to hero to general.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
But like he has like a full arc of like finally like finding his place with the resistance and like fighting against everybody.
I mean, what you said is really true too. It's just because everything going on with, let's say, let's just say in general, the Force users going on in this movie. Just you're right, it overshadows everything else going on, and that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
But like we were saying too, is like just the fact that you put Palpatine at so much at the forefront, it was inevitable to happen. Yeah. It was going to happen that way.
I actually like that you pointed out kind of like what they realized in The Force Awakens. Like if they have Luke Skywalker introduced too early, then it's going to become about Luke Skywalker. Yeah, you know, and that's what they avoided in The Force Awakens. They created the problem with in.
And I don't know, maybe they didn't think about it because he's not a hero.
Maybe, yeah.
They thought like I don't know, maybe that, but it's just like, but he's also like one of the most prevalent characters of the Skywalker saga. He's the reason Darth Vader is Darth Vader. Yeah. He's the reason for the clones. He's the reason for the Empire. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, he's a very important character that was killed. You didn't need to bring back, but you decided to, and then you shoved him in our faces. So it's kind of like, that was just going to happen. Yeah. This is like I liked Force Awakens more than this one.
Oh, yeah. This might actually be, unfortunately, my least favorite one.
Like just in general Star Wars movie, even with all, like you're thinking all of them.
I would rather watch a Phantom Menace than this.
I would too. This is real quick, and I was thinking about the dialogue too. Is like a lot of it is like doing that Guardians of the Galaxy thing but Guardians of the Galaxy still had like a lot of like important dialogue. But I mean, you know, they can fly now. They can fly now. They can fly. A lot of the dialogue was just them repeating shit to each other back and forth, like this weird echo.
Well, I mean, if you think about like the main writer, J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, he's big into the superhero shtick stuff, dude. He wrote Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, and the Justice League. You know, like he knows the big budget stuff that people want to see. Yeah, and, you know, like how I was talking about The Last Jedi. That movie wasn't like the popcorn action movie that everybody's used to. There was depth to it. This went back. They went back to the same
to just a big spectacle.
Yeah, like there could still be humor in it. You know, like I honestly I think even if like that like little like they can fly now, they can fly now, they can fly now. I'm okay with that line if the script itself all around is better.
Oh no, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like I hated that. Like that was so cheeky, and so I don't mean that. It's just like there were so many of those moments. Yeah. And that's fine, but there was no depth to a lot of the other moments. Yeah. Or at least I felt. Well, yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
And that's what we got.
It is canon now. Yeah. I completely forgot that Kylo Ren died.
Oh, really?
I completely forgot about that. I mean,
did you remember the kiss?
When he faded out, went, oh.
Oh, yeah, and his clothes, his clothes
He's
stayed.
naked. He's a naked Force ghost. If you didn't listen to it, we were talking about it in the other episode. Do you have any final thoughts? I mean, I would recommend to watch it to finish off the Star Wars Skywalker saga. Yeah, it's like visually they're cool. Like the special effects are always like fun and whatever. But
I think for a kid it'd be enjoyable.
Yeah, totally.
For people, you know, that are intelligent, have intelligence, I should say. I should finish.
I think you should stop. I think you should stop talking.
I didn't mean to make it insulting. I meant to have it be more like people, like not children.
Stop talking. Shut up.
Okay, guys.
I think we're done.
I think we're done. Hey, we just did a Star Wars month.
Yeah, we did, and that is this is the.
It was actually. How do you, in reflection, how do you feel about these last 3-4 weeks?
It's fun to do a whole franchise like this, but I don't know. I'd be willing to try it. It becomes, I don't know. It becomes like, I don't know. Because a lot of these trilogies are just so mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a lot of the weird little things that went into it. And it's kind of weird to be stuck with a same crew for so long.
Yeah.
Like cast wise. Like, all right, well, we got like 2 additions to this. So
I mean, that's kind of like, I found it interesting to kind of like continue on with building, like talking and building the lore and finding the lore like along the way, you know?
Yeah, totally. I think that this is just kind of an interesting one too, because this is the 3rd set of sequels, not counting all those standalones that there are. Mm-hmm. So that kind of makes it like, if you're gonna do Lord of the Rings, that's for the movies alone.
Yeah.
You can just focus on the movies, and there's only 3 of them.
Yeah.
So that's more. But this is
not
like
talking about The Hobbit.
Yeah, like you just leave that alone because you don't really need to in a lot of ways. But this is such a huge cinematic universe. This is like, hey, do you want to do the Avengers, or like you want to
do the 3 Avengers movies, or like 3 of the Avengers movies?
Yeah, you know, it's like sure. I guess. I mean, there's a lot.
So we're doing a Harry Potter next. I'm joking. Could you?
How many are there?
8.
Oh my god! Like a Harry Potter half a year.
Yeah, Jesus.
But yeah, I would do it again. But you know, I
feel like
the Matrix would be fun.
Yeah,
something that is like there are 3 of them and that's it. And or Riddick, like Riddick would be cool.
There we go. Yeah,
something that's just like okay, there's 3 of them and that's all the lore you get.
The original Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah, like even that. Yeah. That would be cool too, because that's also like, you know, really good, and then kind of got a little.
Yeah, I mean, I had fun. I feel like it was a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah,
like, there was and I keep just feeding my brain with more Star Wars. Like while I'm doing Star Wars stuff, and I was playing a Star Wars game last night. I feel like
what are you playing?
Vader and Mortal.
Oh right.
Oculus. Yeah.
Well, but if y'all think of a cool trilogy, let us know.
Yeah, totally.
That'd be awesome.
But we're definitely going back to our old format for at least a month or 2.
We're gonna take a break on Star Wars for a fucking minute.
What
if this is out of our system for a while?
Yeah, we just cleansed ourselves.
It just doesn't come up again for like a year.
We've squeezed the Force out of us. We've shut ourselves off from the Force. All right. I think we could wrap it up.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good day, night, whenever you're listening to this.
I hope you enjoyed this episode and hopefully maybe the last couple episodes, all this together. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, share with friends, get it out there.
And remember, we love you.
We do love you guys.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape.